Hello, how are you? I'll just wait a minute and see if anybody else pops on. As you're popping on, please say hello. Tell me what your name is, where you're coming from, if this is your first time or you're a regular. I would love to get to know all of you. I'm just going to try and get my board a little closer here because I'm going to have trouble seeing from far away. And I'm going to get my secondary device, hopefully, going here. Okay, there it is. I'm going to pop that up right there. And like I said, as you're hopping on, please say hello. Let me know. Let's see, I don't have this adjusted quite right so I can see. There we go. Swipe left. Okay, so anyhow, I am Alicia, and I am the ambassador for the Stencil Smith. If you've never used the Stencil Smith stencils before, you're in for a great surprise. If you have, you know how great they are. The Stencil Smith is a company that's in Ohio, and everything is made in the USA. They take the orders, they cut, and send everything out right here from Ohio, which is where I'm from. I'm coming to you from Chardon, Ohio, and the name of my company is the Chardon Sign Shack. So as you're hopping on, like I said, please say hello and let me know. There we go. I didn't have comments up. That was the problem. Hi, Carol. How are you? Hi, April. How are you? So also, as you're hopping on, if you wouldn't mind doing this, April appreciates it, and so do I. Today, we are going to have a giveaway. And we're actually going to do it at the end after everything's done. She's got a little wheel and she's going to spin it. So if you sprinkle this video, which means this, and I'll go over it a couple times if people are hopping on later, make sure you sprinkle it and put it in the comments, please. And we'll enter you to win this gorgeous little stencil. Isn't that the cutest? April has the funnest designs, and they just tickle me. If I actually made one up and I put mine. Hi, April. Hi, Judy. How are you? Thank you, Judy. Judy sprinkled, so she gets an entry in the contest. And we're going to pull this, rather than me going on, we're going to pull it at the end of this live. So you stick around to find out if you win. You'll message April and let her know, and she'll send it out to you. And they're going to be sending it to you instead of me. So today we're stenciling up some spring fun, and I am making a garden sign for my garden. And for the purposes of time, I have already stained this, and these are 3 1x6s put together. I can't read the comments, I'm sorry. That's hilarious. Okay, yeah, isn't that the cutest little stencil? And then these are 1x6s also. So I've glued them. Hi, Cindy, how are you? If you sprinkle, make sure. We've got a giveaway today at the end of the live. But my husband and I, we glued it together, we clamped it, we cut it. If I can find, I thought I was all organized. I don't know where my ruler, my tape measure is at. You think I'd know because it's bright orange. Okay, here it is. So anyhow, we glued these together, but we cut these, and you can cut it according. This is the medium stencil, so this is going to be stencil number 8786, and this is the medium, okay? And we cut ours roughly 33 and a half inches long, the 1x6s. Thank you, Carol. We appreciate it. Hi, Sharon. How are you? And I stained it with this Valspar antiquing glaze. This is an antiquing glaze. It's not really a stain, but it makes, look what a lovely stain. I use this a lot. It makes a beautiful, beautiful brown stain. So you can use this as an antiquing glaze, put it on something, wipe it off. Hi, Sandy, how are you? And, but you can also use it as stain, and it's water-based, so it dries really quick. It's a really, really, really pretty stain. So we're going to be doing first, we have 2 stencils today that are on sale, so it's the same thing. It's going to be 20% off the price. Hi Renee, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I haven't seen or heard you around very much. Hi Kimberly, how are you? So this is number 8786 and it's in a medium. So it comes in this cute carrot and you get one of these, but then you get these really cute little overlays to decorate it with. So you could use the carrot just by itself if you wanted. You wouldn't have to put anything on it. Or you could use the cute little overlays on it. And this particular stencil, the medium, it fits perfectly on a 1x6. I mean, it couldn't fit any more perfect. It's the exact dimensions. And so the second stencil set we're going to be using is going to be Welcome to My Garden. No, Welcome to the Garden. And this is it right here. And I'm going to be using these on the top and the bottom to welcome everybody. So not only could this be used at Easter time for an Easter decoration, but it also could be a spring, a summer garden decoration because carrots grow in your garden. And then this is really cute. You could use this with or without this Welcome to My Garden. It would go really nicely on around too decorated. This one, if you wanted, hang something like that in your garden. I do a lot of rounds, but this could be really cute with some, maybe some lattice behind it, or, you know, just use your imagination. There's no rights or wrongs in stenciling. Oh, thank you. You love the carrots, Cindy? So we're going to get started pretty quickly here. I'm going to angle you down, and the first thing I'm going to do, aren't they adorable, Sharon? And I think I forgot to say, I always forget because I get going and I talk and then I say part of something, but these are 20% off today and tomorrow. And then if you use my code SIGNSHACK, which is SIGNSHACK, you'll get an additional 15% off. Thank you, Cindy. We really, really appreciate it. We appreciate when anybody sprinkles. And again, for those that are joining late, whenever you do this, make sure you write it in the comments, because at the end of this live, we're going to have a drawing for this stencil here, which is just adorable. I put mine on a dish towel, which I'll show you when I'm done. But you could, you know, make a sign. You could do anything out of it. You could put that in the garden. Okay, so I am going to start. Now I have made it. I've made these boards here. I need to angle you down, sorry. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to angle you down. So I made these boards. I have already attached these. I didn't glue them on, but with a nail gun across. So it's real sturdy. It's going to stay. And like I said, this is going to hang in my garden. So I am going to start, and I made it just big enough that they were equal on the bottom when I stapled it, but enough where I could fit this stencil perfectly in here, because you want enough room to work with. If you want to make it smaller than that, which I wouldn't advise, you would have to leave these off and then staple it on later. So I'm going to get my tape here. Whenever you're stenciling, I don't use an adhesive. I use painter's tape, and to me it works wonderful. I've never used adhesive. I know I get that question a lot if I use adhesive. I do not. So I'm just going to tape it down. Taping helps to keep it from shifting. You don't want it shifting around when you're stenciling. I'm going to get this tape off here. And there's so many things you could do with this. You could make a little garden flag out of it to hang in your garden. You could do it on a pillow. I did it on a pillow earlier, and I'll show you that later. Now, because this is such a dark, whenever I stencil on something dark, especially like a black or a brown, I do an undercoat of real light white. Hi, Donna, how are you? And Donna, everybody dropping in late, make sure you sprinkle and comment, sprinkle in the comments, because we're going to have a drawing at the end of this live rather than waiting. And you should probably never do what I'm doing. I just have limited room here. you know, squirt your paint out over top of your piece. That could end in a big, big mess. So I'm going to take this white and my brush, and I like to offload on shop towels, just like that. You can see it's a well-used shop towel. Shop towels last a long time. That is one reason I really, really like to use them. And I'm going to offload. The biggest key, thank you, Donna, to stenciling is you want to offload. You want a very dry brush. You get paint on it, and then you take it off. And so I'm just going to do a light coat here of white, just enough. You want to make your paint pop underneath, if that makes sense. Does anybody else do that? Hello, Mary Jo. How are you? Oh, thank you, Judy. I love the Stencil Smith too. I've got about, right now, probably another 20 stencils in my cart, maybe, give or take. I may have to make a decision, I don't know. She has the prettiest designs and the funnest designs. You know, the way I look at it, the world is so serious anymore. Why not have a little laughter? And April sure adds that with her designs. So again, I'm just swirling this around. I've got a little white, and I'm just putting a base coat of it on because it will show up better on dark. A brown or a black, I highly recommend it. Probably if you stenciled on something really dark, like a dark purple, you know, any dark colors, I would definitely do an underlay of white. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just enough that it's going to give it a little bit of color and make it pop. And I am going to just move this on to the next one. See, it looks pretty actually just in white, honestly. It's such a pretty carrot. I think it's a really, really beautiful. And like I said, this stencil is, it fits perfect on a 1x6. Absolutely perfect. Yeah, I think this is going to be really pretty. I love garden decor. Going into summer, I think I'm going to make a summer sign. And with like a beach kind of scene in the background. And do a welcome on it, or sweet summer, or something like that. I got to look at what leaner I want to do that with. But I think that would be real pretty. I hang stuff like that by my pool. Oh, you're a new watcher from Massachusetts. Welcome, Lynn. And everybody welcome, whether you're new or old. We sure appreciate you tuning in. If you have not liked or followed my page, The Chardon Sign Shack, don't leave the live right now to do it, but do it afterwards. And do the same of April's page, The Stencil Smith. And then she has this beautiful new community, April and Pete do. It's called Paint and Share with the Stencil Smith. And I tell you what, the ideas, that's another thing that's getting me trouble. How about you girls? No, I'm not painting on an old shutter, but that's a great idea. This is just 1x6s that I cut. I forget what I said, about 33 and a quarter inches long. So they're just 1x6s. Mary Jo, that I have I've cut to size, and the ones going across are 1x6s too. But again, I'm just putting this white on it, and I'm going to move it down just enough to give it a little bit of pop color. And just that quickly. You just want a little bit of white behind it, enough to, because you can stencil right over a brown, but it's not going to pop as much as if you put a white. A light brown, it would be different, but a dark brown, black definitely is hard. I get you. Judy says, I get her in trouble every week. Judy, I understand. I'm in trouble every week too. I know, I think it's Sherry that says she needs to find herself a stencil daddy. I'm sure a lot of us feel that way. Stenciling is so fun. To me, it's very soothing. I love doing this swirling motion. To me, it's very relaxing and very calming. And the biggest key to not getting bleeds, now I get bleeds, you know, and usually it's just because I'm in a hurry, I haven't offloaded enough, is offloading your brush. So if you're new to stenciling, that's another thing. If you're new to stenciling, let me know that as well. And if you ever have any questions, you can always contact April, or you could contact me by messenger. And another great thing about these stencils, I don't think I mentioned before, but I try to mention every live, is they come in a variety of sizes. You can either do the white or the blue Mylar. I prefer the white. That's just what I like. Everybody's different. I think it's more a personal preference than anything. And if there's a size that you need, so I'm going to go back here. This is dry now. And I'm going to tape this back down, and I'm going to do the orange for the carrot, and then the green for up here on the stem, on the stalk, or I don't know what you would say. Does anybody grow carrots? I do not grow carrots. It's relaxing. Oh, thank you, April. You know, I've been doing lives for a while now, and I can tell you that I still get nervous. Maybe it doesn't seem like it. It probably does. I don't know. But I always get nervous before one. I always hope to help somebody in some way. Another great tip is, if you're going to use this brush later and not put it in the water, wrap it in a wet wipe or maybe a wet paper towel and just stick it in a baggie so it doesn't dry out. And that helps keep it nice and moist. So I have this beautiful, what is the size of the board? These are 3 1x6s, Donna. And we wood glued them together and clamped them and let it sit overnight. And then, you know, beforehand we cut them. They're about 33, it's about 33 1/4 inches long. And you can adjust it. You might want to have more room between your carrots and these boards here. I don't know. I just tried to make it where it wasn't super huge, but it would be something fun to hang in the garden. Oh, thank you. So I hope that answers your question. And like I said, you can always message me, because the thing about Facebook is I may go back, I try to answer people, but I may not see your comment because sometimes it hides comments and I don't see it till a day or two later. So if there's anything you want to know right away, April, do you have a cyclone and a backhoe stencil? That I don't know. Surely she has a backhoe stencil. I don't know. So this is Tuscan Orange. This is Fusion Mineral Paint. This is what I like to use. You use what you like. This is just what I like. You can use any, you know, today I'm going to be using some Deco Art, or no, yeah, Deco Art too. So I use a mixture sometimes, but I really, really like Fusion Mineral. So I'm using this for the carrot. Just squirt some out on my plate. And I'm going to use, I think, my big Klingon 035, which is my favorite brush in the world. I got it on Etsy. You can get them on Amazon occasionally. These are great for porch leaners. It covers a lot of area. And it's really great for backgrounds. It's a very soft brush. It's not as stiff as some other stencil brushes, but this is my absolute favorite brush. And again, I've got the paint on and I've taken it off. You want a dry brush. And I also need a piece of tape. And sometimes I use flashing, but I'm just going to leave the tape here because I'm going to move it just right there so I don't get into the stalk with the orange. And I'm going to go over that white with the orange and just swirl away. Just like that. And I'm going to get some more paint and offload. Whoops. You can't wait to get started. Thank you. It's Fusion Mineral Tuscan Orange. Is someone going live out there? Was that Sandy? I'm not sure. Yes, it is an absolutely beautiful orange. I use this a lot for, well, this is the primary orange I use. I use it an awful lot for Halloween, fall, just all kinds of things. But it did really pretty with the carrots. So like I said, anytime you're stenciling on a dark surface, you want to do an undercoat of white. And you just swirl. Doesn't take super long. I'm going to want to do one more coat on this though. So I have my heat gun here. So nobody grows carrots. I do not. We grow tomatoes and flowers. That's about it. We used to have a garden when we first got married, but we found out it took a lot more work than it was worth. And our tomatoes, they got big and beautiful red, and just as soon as they got ripe, the chipmunks would eat them. I don't know if anybody else has problems with chipmunks. We just have chipmunks coming out the, I don't know. We have a lot of chipmunks here. And boy, are they stinkers. They're so cute though, but they do a lot of damage. But they ate all our, they would take a bite. So what my husband did after a while, he would take the tomato and the one they were eating and he would set it down and they would just eat that. They would continue to eat on that one, but when it was done, they would go back and get another one. If the deer isn't doing damage around here, it's the chipmunks. The squirrels aren't as bad. You put in 2 more orders this weekend. I understand, Sandy. I just get an order, and then April is always designing. I think she's designing in her sleep if she sleeps. And then there's just something new. I'm like, oh, I have to have that one. There's quite a few new ones that just came out. There was one that, oh, I forget what it was. I've got it in my cart, but it's beautiful. It's a flower and it goes up. I can't remember what it says. I don't know if you know which one I'm talking about, April. And I'm going to give that one more dry. I think I'll go over it one more time. And see, it's not coating as good where I didn't get the white as thorough, if you can see that. So this was really easy to make between wood glue and a glue gun. It wasn't hard at all. And like I said, you could just do one of these carrots. I did them on a pillow as well, which turned out kind of cute. I think I need a big, maybe just a little bit larger pillow size for it, but it turned out nice. Okay, so I am going to move on to the next carrot. I'm going to do all the orange, and then I'll go back and do the greens is what I'm going to do. But when I think of carrots, sometimes I think of like the Easter Bunny and, you know, spring and stuff like this, but I think this could be a good, you know, like spring segue into summer garden sign. I think it could be really cute. Really, really cute. So what did you order, Sandy, that you put 2 more orders in this weekend? They had a nice sale this weekend. And then again today, like I said, these will be 20% off. And then you'll save another 15% with my code Sign Shack. Yesterday was the first day of spring. Does everybody have spring-like weather? We had 10 inches of snow Saturday going into Sunday. We haven't had hardly any snow this season, but, you know, I guess it had to get one last kick in. So we woke up to all that mess. And then yesterday it was in the 40s, and today it's beautiful. It's sunny and in the 50s. You get lucky and get the produce before the deer. I totally understand that. The deer are really bad. For whatever reason, they love my mums, and they eat them. They just bloom, and they're beautiful, and then they come by, and they just eat. Pretty soon, the next thing I know, all the little blooms are gone. I just want to get a little bit more orange up in here towards the top. There. Yeah, these are really pretty carrots. I like carrots. Where I work at Sage's Apples, I work at an apple orchard. Late summer, I guess, fall, we start getting carrots from this local place, because what we don't grow at Sage's, he gets from local farms, and we support all the local farmers around here, and we try to support a lot of Ohio people too, like with jams and different things. But anyhow, they bring in these beautiful, I don't know if they're called they're rainbow carrots, but they're so pretty. They're purple and yellow and orange, and they are so good. I roast them a lot in the fall, and they are just delicious. They are so, so good. A little bit of olive oil and ginger, and some sea salt. They're very, very good. I like most vegetables. I don't know, are there any vegetables? Are you a vegetable person? Are you vegetable people? I should say people. There's multiple people watching. Whoop. See, my sign moved. Make sure you have that tape down good. I probably should have put another piece of tape down that way, but I didn't. I want to make sure, get that just a little bit more right there. That's where I didn't get the white real good. Okay, so we've got our carrots done, and I'm just going to go across this way now, and I'm going to get these little tufts on the top. And I am just going to use my flashing for this. See, I am done with the orange, so I'm going to put my brush, I keep a cup of water over there. So these little pieces of flashing, you can get at hardware store, you can get on Amazon. They're really convenient for just going like that and placing it over something, so you don't have to use tape. So I am going to use, I had used a darker green on my pillow, but for this one I'm going to use this green. It's called Conservatory. I think it's really pretty. There's so many beautiful signs out there. I was looking at Paint and Share before I hopped on, and somebody had done a bunny with little bunny ears. It looked like it was made out of maybe fence posts. I'm not sure. But that's what it looked like to me, and they were adorable, and they had some lattice on it. It was really, really nice combination of stencils that were used. Okay, so I'm gonna, again, I've got my paint up on my brush, and I'm gonna offload. I think that's a pretty green. It's not quite super dark, and it's not super bright. It's kind of like a medium. It's really pretty. I haven't used this one much. That's why I don't have it in a little jar or a little FIFO jar yet. FIFOs are these that I put my paint in. And I'm just going to swirl around on these leaves. just like that. My grandkids, they get spring break here pretty soon, so that's going to be fun. We're thinking about maybe taking them to the Cleveland Aquarium and the National History Museum, or Natural Museum of History. I can't remember what it is, but they have lots of dinosaurs there. My youngest grandson, the 3-year-old, he's into dinosaurs, and he just calls them, he goes, "Rawr." You know, that's how he speaks dinosaur, he says. So I'm going to move this down. And a little bit of this white is showing, but you know, that's okay because it almost looks like a shading sometimes when some of the white shows. Like a natural kind of shading. Sometimes there's always like little happy accidents that happen. I made a sign, I think it was this weekend. I made a little sign on an egg, and it ended up being a happy accident. And I was just messing around, because that's the thing about stenciling too. You know, you can practice on cardboard or like this kind of paper. This is moving paper or craft paper or anything like that. Or some people have the, you know, the books, I think they're mixed media books. I have one of those too. You could practice on all that, but sometimes just go for it. Make it yours. If it's wood and it doesn't work out, all you got to do is sand it. All you've lost is your time. And usually there's not anything that can't be fixed. Okay. Got a little bit on that. And I'm just going to move this one down here and go to my next carrot and line them up. These are super easy to line up too. These are really thick and durable. And like I said, April cuts them. They're made right here in the USA. They ship out super fast. So also, if you're new to the Stencil Smith, you will be amazed how quickly you get your stencils. It's usually within a matter of days, you know, unless it's a weekend. Sometimes you have to take into account for holidays, or sometimes the mail is just plain not good. I mailed out a package not too long ago, and I didn't take the label off underneath it, and I taped my new label to it. Well, it was a good thing I didn't take the label off underneath it, because the label came off and they actually shipped it back to me. So it came back, they said it was delivered, and I was like, huh, because the person kept saying they didn't get it, and I was like, well, it says it was delivered. Well, it was delivered to me, and I didn't realize that it was a box. So see how pretty those are? Aren't those just gorgeous? Do you like that so far? And again, you could leave this just like it is, as is. But there's these really beautiful overlays right here. So we're going to use those. And mine, let's see, which way do I have it? I got to see here. They go that way. And you can always tell which way is up because, well, they're only going to fit one way. But the little number, so if you're new to the Stencil Smith too, that's another thing. There's an embedded number, and you can feel it. It can be hard to see sometimes. I don't know if you can see it. I can't tell. But you can feel it, and that's the right side up when you can feel those numbers. So I'm going to set my carrot to the side. And again, if you're just joining us, I may use this green again. I'm not sure. So if you're just joining us, I want to let you know, if you sprinkle right there and let us know that you've sprinkled, make sure you say sprinkle in the comments. You grab celery over, I like celery, but I like carrots better. I like the dip actually the best that goes with it, honestly, if I'm being honest. So if you do this, we're giving away this stencil at the end of the live. So stick around, we'll pull a name. April's gonna pull a name, and it's just adorable. I love it. Bacon seeds. So make sure you do that. Make sure when you do it, you comment that you sprinkled. April's putting you on her wheel. She's got like a little Wheel of Fortune going there. So I am going to, now this overlay, the way I've moved the carrots around, it's not going to fit right over it. So I'm going to move my overlay around. And I'm going to start with this carrot down here, over on this side with the polka dots. And make sure it's lined up. And I am going to tape this down. I can use my tape for my carrot. I use tape over and over until it loses its stick factor. And sometimes it's easier when you're standing over something to line something up than if you're not. And I am going to use on this carrot and this carrot here, this is, I don't have the name on it, but this is Prairie Sunset from Fusion. I'm going to use that for the polka dots and the buffalo check over here. I'm going to move this little thing out. So I'm going to squirt just a little. Ooh. I'm going to squirt more than a little bit. So I've got my Prairie Sunset there. And I'm just going to get my brush in it. So it's wetter. And then you're going to want to offload. You want to offload till you're almost dry. It's better to do 2 or 3 coats than have to have bleeding. And usually if you have bleeding, that's why you've had too much paint on your brush. So I'm getting these little polka dots. I think yellow and orange looks cute together. And I didn't want like a real vibrant yellow. I just didn't. I wanted a more subtle yellow, a darker, deeper yellow with this. And I think I'm going to do a brown in the middle. I think. I was toying with the idea of a darker, even darker yellow yet, like a mustard. But I think I'm going to go with a brown is what I'm going to do. So that quickly, you've just laid that. I love overlays. Do you guys like overlays? I think they are. Hi, Judy. How are you? Make sure you sprinkle, Judy, because we're doing a giveaway at the end of the live, and make sure you comment sprinkled in the comments. So I'm going to pull this up and just take a peek, and that's exactly the coverage I want. I don't want it too dark. You know, I'm not a person, you could keep going till things are solid. I think I like it when it's a little variegated. It almost gives it like a natural shading in things when you leave a little bit of the undercolor coming through. It's, you know, it's not so perfect, if that makes sense. So Judy sprinkled. So I want that one mustard, and I'm going to go down here to my other carrot because I've already got this brush in my Prairie Sunset, and just line that up over the carrot. Really, really easy. Just like so. And I'm going to get a little mustard on there. Or this isn't mustard. I keep saying mustard. This is Prairie Sunset. Mustard was the color I was going to use in the middle, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to use this brown. And I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to start swirling on the buffalo check. I love a good buffalo check. And this, I might do a couple coats on. But I think that's a really pretty combo, that yellow and the green and the orange together. You know, lots of times I get my colors out and I look at them and I'll put, like, say these bottles here, I'll put a bunch of bottles, you know, or like these are different. So I put them together to see how they look together. Some things clash, some things don't look quite right. But that's one way when I'm pulling colors out. A color wheel is a helpful tool as well. You can get them on Amazon. They show like complementary colors and the triads, which I think is like the other ones that coordinate with it really good. And then just look at pictures. Any kind of pictures you can get an idea from. So this one, I think I'm going to do one more light coat on this, especially up here on the top, because it's not quite as dark as down here. I've gotten it a little darker. And I think I'm going to be done with that. So I'm just laying that back down there. And make sure when you cut this, you have enough room for your boards. You don't have to put them on till after if you want to. I put them on before. And it was a good thing because we couldn't get the nail gun. Something was wrong with the nail gun. So it took my Jeff, my husband, to figure that out. I would have been here like, uh-oh, don't know what's going on. I know how to load it. I know how to use it. I know how to unjam it, but that was beyond me. It was just being a real stinker. It was not being very agreeable today. Okay, so we've got this real pretty yellow and orange. I like that too. Now this one I could do in the same yellow, but I'm going to do it a little different, and I'm going to do it in a brown, I think. And I'm going to bring this one over here. Oh, goodness, I hope I didn't. That's what I mean. Be sure I measured the carrots, not the overlays, when I nailed those on. Sometimes you're your own worst enemy. I tend to overthink, excuse me, I tend to overthink things. I got to get a sip of water here. Okay, so I'm going to use this brown I have. It's a Deco Art. It's a burnt umber. I think it's going to look pretty in here. Also, if you had like a deeper, darker orange, that would look really pretty as well. And another thing too, say you add in a color and you don't like it, just put your overlay back over it and go over it again. Yes, this is the medium, and it is on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. And if you use my code SignShack, you'll save an additional 15%. But this one is the medium. So this is the burnt umber. And again, I've got it on my brush, and I'm going to offload, so it's a pretty dry brush there. And I'm going to go over this one in this brown. I thought it would kind of pull the brown of the boards, doing this middle one in brown. You could do these carrots in fun colors, you know, really bright colors. You could do anything you wanted. I just think they're really, really cute. You could do them without the overlays, with the overlays. Okay. I'm not going to bring that up. See, I got that one almost too. Okay, let me get that line back up. I should have just left it. They're easy to line back up. Okay. I'm going to get my little gun and just... You can use your heat gun over your stencils. I don't like to very often because it makes the paint dry harder. But, okay, I don't have paint on that. Where'd my brush go? Okay, there it is. I lost my brush for a minute. I'm going to get a little bit more of this burnt umber, and I'm going to offload it. And I'm just going to go back over this to make it just a little bit darker and see how I like that. But I think this would be really pretty with a darker, a real dark orange if you had it. I did not. And I know you can mix colors, so I could have made a darker orange. I don't know if you would add black. Usually something like that, when I don't have a color, I'll Google like how to make a dark orange, or I think a couple weeks ago I was looking, what color was I looking for? It was terracotta, you know, how to make terracotta, and boy, you know, Google is awesome. It'll tell you anything, and usually there's a video to go along with it. Okay. So I've got that one in the brown in the middle. I like that. What do you think so far, girls? Do you like that color combination? I could have done them all the same color. I wanted to do this one a little darker. Oh, they're offering a free antiquing glaze. Thank you, Judy. So now I've done this, and this would look cute just like this, but this is the other stencil that's going to be on sale today. I'm done with the brown. I just want to make sure before I don't want it to roll off my table before I throw it in my water, because I hate cleaning brushes. But I have to say, Allie a couple weeks ago recommended Masters brush cleaner, and it is amazing. So I've got this Welcome to the Garden, and this is the size, I don't think that's a medium. I think it's a small. I have a medium. Oh no, this is the medium. Okay, so this is Welcome to my Garden. Yep, it was Allie. That stuff is the bomb. It's not as hard to clean my brushes now because they clean up really quickly, and they're just really nice. It conditions them too. I better put the lid back on my paint too. I have a lot of accidents. I'm very, sometimes I think I get ahead of myself. But let me just put the lid back on that paint, that green. So I am going to do this in a white. It's this picket fence here from Fusion Mineral. My label's coming off, but that's what it is. So any white will do. You could use any color you want. And this is Welcome to my Garden. I'm going to put welcome up here, and I'm going to put to the garden down here. I think that's going to be adorable. So I'm going to put the welcome up here. And I want to I'm centering it just visually. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to do this in the white. And as I'm doing it in the white, if you think you would like me to go back over this and I typically do my lettering in white or black. But if you would like me to do the lettering in this green right here, let me know and I'll go back over the white with the green. So this is what it would look like on the dark wood. But you think about it and you let me know. I'm going to have to tape this off here. So you want to tape this off because we're not using this part of this up here. I can't wait to hang this outside. We have a really, it's an older, but one of them dog-eared wood fences, and we hang signs on it in the summer. Okay, so this is welcome, and I'm going to do this in white. A little bit, yes. Judy, and she is correct. Judy was saying I've got her hooked on Fusion Mineral paint. I'm not an affiliate. I just really, really like it. It has a built-in top coat in it. I'm going to get a little bit more of this picket fence here, and I'm going to do it off this because it's almost empty and it's squirting everywhere, which is going to be a major problem. So let me just get some onto my plate here out of the bottom. But a little goes a long way. Some of these I've had, this Tuscan, I've got about that much left here. And I've used this one an awful lot. Fall, Halloween, these spring signs. And I've had it a couple years now. It lasts a long time. It is a little expensive starting out, investing in it. So just get a couple colors if you want to try it. Or get a tester. I think it was Julie this weekend. She contacted me and she went and got some little testers of it to try it. So I hope she really likes it. I really like it. And it does, like I said, it has a built-in top coat in it. So that is really, really nice for outdoor signs. If it's mine, I usually don't seal it. But if it's a customer's, I do seal my Fusion paint because I just want to be extra careful. But I've had signs that I put out for a couple years seasonally here and there, and I've never had any problem with the Fusion Mineral with it fading or anything like that. Because again, it does have that built-in top coat. What I do use for my signs to seal them is the Rust-Oleum 2x matte clear. And it's in a spray can. I get it at Home Depot. There's also another one I use sometimes too. It's I'll just find the jar. I'll show you both of them at the end of the live. Okay, so we've got Welcome up there. And like I said, this again, you could use this anywhere on another sign. You could use just the Welcome. It's a beautiful Welcome. So you could use that over and over. You can make a round out of this with this Welcome to my garden, adding a bunch of little patterns or maybe some tulips or, you know, flowers, a bunch of big blooms, anything like that. So what are we thinking? Do we like the white? Or would you like me to go over it in green? Are we liking this white? Like I said, I'm going to let you guys decide. I'm going to go with whatever you want. Maybe, oh, I love that, Allie. That's a great idea. Okay, I'm going to do that then. Allie says, do to the in green. That's a great idea. I like that a lot. So I'm going to tape that. I guess I didn't have it taped over here. I'm going to do one more coat on this. I am losing everything today. I don't know where, there it is. Ah. So I have a question. Are you an organized crafter or a disorganized? I am a very disorganized crafter. I want to be organized. And even if I ever do get organized, like I keep my stencils organized, but even when I get organized, I feel like once I get out here and I have a whole bunch of stuff going on, I'm right back to being cluttered and disorganized again. I would like to be more organized. That would be a goal. I feel like it would make life easier. I'm sure my husband would appreciate it too. He's very organized. Much more so than I am. Organized crafter. I don't know that there is. Somebody said there's no such thing as an organized crafter. Like I said, I want to be. I just find there's not enough hours in the day, it doesn't seem like. Okay, so we've done 2 coats of this white. And I'm going to pull this off. Oh, that's really pretty. I like that. I'm going to come back and fill in the, okay, so I'm going to have to take these off of here. And be careful when you're pulling your tape up. You know, be gentle so you don't, this is a very sturdy stencil, but you don't want to bend any of your stuff there. Okay, so I want to, I'm going to eyeball this and put it on there. It's always harder to do a longer sign, the angles and everything. And you just want to tape so you don't go up in the other part. There we go. And I'm going to put, even though that's not close, I'm going to put a little bit of tape there, because if I don't, sometimes you get swirling away and you just, accidents happen, right? Your paints are organized. My paints are organized, my stencil are organized. But everything else, like I have totes of stuff, but I need to they're in totes, but I need to, like, okay, this is hearts, this is ribbon, organize it that way, I guess I'm saying. So visually, I can see it and get to it. Because that's always a pain. So again, if you're joining late, because we're almost finishing up here, if you haven't done this, make sure you do this, and make sure you comment sprinkled or, you know, this in the comments, and April's going to add your name to her Wheel of Fortune, and she is going to draw your name. And I'm going to go ahead and stencil this to the in white before I do the green, because again, it being brown in the background, you want to make sure that it's going to pop, because it takes a lot sometimes for something to pop. And that's already dry. That's the good thing too about using a dry brush and not using a lot of paint. Usually by the time you get done stenciling, sometimes you have to dry them, but lots of times you're using such a little amount of paint that it's already dry when you go back to start, you know, where you first started at. I put my finger in that wet paint though, it left a fingerprint. And you don't really have to press down real hard. Like I'm just lightly swirling over this. There's some instances where you might have to, like fabric, sometimes I swipe, or I might pounce a little bit because the fabric can shift. But when you're on something sturdy like wood or canvas, it's, to me, it's a lot easier to just swirl. You get a lot of coverage and it goes quickly. And like I said, it's very relaxing. This is way more relaxing. I'm a knitter. I don't know if anybody else out there knits or crochets or anything like that. There's nothing worse than having a drop stitch, and you can fix it and stuff, but have to go back. They call it, I think they call it tinking or tink or something like that. But it can be a real hassle. Okay. So I am going to, yep, I like that. I'm going to give that a little bit. I'm going to put this in here. I don't think, oh, I did leave the green. Yay. Look at me. So another thing you could do too with this lettering is you could do like a drop lettering. I considered doing that, but I decided against it. But you could, I'll do that one day. You kind of drop it and shift it, and it highlights a little bit of the white. I put the green up, of course. Oh, you're making, yeah, I made all my grandsons. You crochet. Oh, hi Sherry, how are you? Hopefully you were doing something fun like stenciling. I want to give this a quick dry, real quick here. It's pretty dry, but I want to just make sure. And if you're heating over your stencils, make sure you hold it back and you move it around. Don't just leave it on it, because you'll bend it and curl it. So the to the, Allie had the great idea to do that in green. So that is what I'm going to do. Oh, I hope I offloaded. I don't know if I did or not now. because if I did not, because that was a lot of paint, there's going to be bleeds. I must have, well, that was a lot. Okay, but it was plenty. So look how cute that is. Isn't that adorable? So that will hang in my garden. And you could put, you know, you could put whatever you want. I use these rebar ties a lot. I can make cute handles out of them. They're all tangled together. But these are real strong. You can staple them in, I don't know if I can get one out or not, but see how they bend? And they have little, let's see, little holes, but you can staple those into the back. They're real sturdy, and that'll hold that really nice on the back there. Sometimes my husband, if it's on the fence, he just screws it in. So I want to show you real quick. I'm going to show you up here, and then we'll go on. I'm going to go over real quick just how to close the bridges, if that's okay. And stick around. I've got a couple more things to show you. Well, why did I do that? I dipped it in the green. So I guess I'm going to go down here and I'm going to do the green real quick. So to fill the bridges, I like to fill the bridges. I use a nice thin like liner brush around something like that. See how you have the bridges gap there? You don't have to, but it really, really makes a difference on your sign when you fill it in. It gives it a really nice finished look to it. And you can practice with it. You'll get better, I swear, because when I first started doing it, I was not good at it. It took a little time. Just get your paint on, and it's the same, you don't want to mush it down, but just get a little bit of paint off and just fill in that little gap there. And it makes a huge difference. It doesn't look like a stencil then. I got a ding right there. So I'm gonna rinse this off, and I'll do the white up here. I'll do the rest later, but I just want to go over it in case there's anybody new. I know there was somebody new, and show you what a difference it makes and it looks. And then I want to show you a couple other things, and like I said, make sure that you have sprinkled. So I'm just going to get this white again on my brush and kind of offload it. And right there where the bridges are, just close them in. And white is probably the hardest color to kind of match. But lots of times when I'm done, I'll take a piece of craft paper and I'll just lightly sand over everything. Maybe do it one more time and you can't even tell. And also, if you are like me and you like to have a more like variegated look to yours, see how this is a little lighter there and stuff? It leaves a lot of room, or distressing if you distress your signs, it leaves a lot of room to cover up stuff like that. But it looks really good. It gives it a much more finished look, and you just need a nice brush. And you just put a little paint on and get it off. And so if you're joining late, you just joined, I don't know, because I can't, sometimes it's really hard to look and see everything that's going on while you're painting. And you're just, and it's really easy. Like I said, once you do it a couple times, you'll wonder why you never did it before, because that's what I thought. And you'll go back and you'll want to take everything you've ever made and start filling in the bridges. That's how much you'll like it, I swear. And it doesn't take that much longer. It really doesn't. Just a little bit of extra time. But again, stuff like that can make the difference. Like if you're at a craft show or something like that, it can make the difference between your work and somebody else's. All those little added touches. Do any of you do craft shows? I know, now Paula, I don't know if you guys saw her post in the Paint and Share. She had a craft show this weekend, and she did those chicken towels that I did and showed several weeks ago. And she said by far it was her most popular design, and she sold out of them. So she could have sold more probably had she not sold out. So if you're doing craft shows and stuff, that's something to keep in mind. And towels are easy and quick to do. You don't have to sand them. I mean, you do have to wash them and iron them and stuff like that, but that doesn't take that long. So see, this didn't take that long at all. And I even messed it up a little bit, so I'm just going back and kind of feathering it in. I got a little wider than I wanted to. But a good brush makes a difference. And I tell you what, I've seen a difference since I've been using that Masters brush cleaner. I got it off of Amazon. My brushes are not quite as stiff. They're a little softer. They're easier to use. So I highly recommend that as well. And they clean up really quickly with it. Okay, so I filled those bridges in. Now I'm not going to do it online, but I would go back and probably sand it real lightly with crumpled up, which I don't have any right here, but I'll just tear a piece off. I just get craft paper and I crumple it up, and you crumple it up and you sand with it, and it is like the finest of fine sandpaper. It's finer than the fine sandpaper, and it's really nice. I'm just going to rinse this off real quick. Now you can see the difference between this without the bridges closed and then this has the bridges closed. And I would go over it one more time. I would give it a light little sand and I would go over it one more time. I'm not going to do that right now. But what do you think of this project today? Do you like that? I guess do it like that. It's easier to see. I think that's so cute. I really, really like that. That's going to look really cute hanging in my garden. And this is stencil number. I'm going to bring you up here. Hi, Jarita. How are you? I've been enjoying all your stuff on the Paint and Share. I'm enjoying everybody's stuff on the Paint and Share. So today, I forgot to put my phone on like mute. All the notifications are coming through. So today, stencil number, I use stencil number 8786 in medium. And you can always screenshot this even while you're watching the live to save this and go back. So I use that in medium. That's the carrot one with the overlay. So that's this one. This and this. And then I used, and that's the medium I used. I don't know why that's there. I must have forgot to take that off. Sorry. Ignore that there. That's from last week. I apologize. I don't know why I forgot to take that off. So this is number 8196 in the medium, and this is the Welcome to My Garden one that I used for welcome into the garden. And like I said, you could just use this welcome. It's a really great font, a really great welcome. And today you still have a few more minutes because I'm going to show you a couple other things. But if you have sprinkled, which means this, we're just not supposed to say it on a live. I don't know why we get dinged for it. But if you've done this and you mentioned it in the comments, April is entering your names. Oh, thank you, Judy. Thank you so much. If you, but if you say sprinkled, we are going to pull names in just a little bit, but I'm going to show you a couple more things before we go. The one stencil that is the giveaway today. Let me find it here amongst my mess. Okay, so this is the stencil we're giving away today. Isn't that adorable? And I did it, you could do so many things with it, but I did it on a towel. See how cute that is? Isn't that adorable? And I think that would be another really good seller at a craft show or even in a sign. And then I did this one on the back. It has nothing to do with gardening, but I couldn't wait to do this one either. This is for me. When I do these, I do them double-sided so I can switch it depending what mood I'm in. So the dishes are looking at me dirty again. But the bacon is really cute. And there's another, I don't have my sign out here. I made a sign this week. If you love bacon, I'll say, so here's another really cutie. Don't go baking my heart. And if you're old enough like me, you'll start singing the Elton John Kiki Dee song. But this is the giveaway today. So this one right here. But that's a cute one. And I wanted to show you a couple other like garden related things that I've just recently got and I've done. So these I made the other day. My neighbor's out of town and I'm going to surprise her in her plants. We take care of her dog while she's gone, her dog and her cat. And so, have you seen the plant sayings? I did these, and it's just on like 1/4-inch sand ply and little dowel rods in the back. My husband, he like cut them flat because this one stayed because it had a lot of surface area on the round, but these ones that are turned this way, it didn't have enough surface area, so he kind of whittled this part here like flat on the dowel rod. But I will survive. And these are things you could do. You could stick in your garden. I'm not dead yet. There's 2 sheets of these. I only have the one. I want to get the other one. But this is the sheet that I used. I love this. And I love, like, growing up in the 70s and 80s, the Staying Alive one. And I Will Survive. I mean, Gloria Gaynor. But how cute would these be in your garden or in a plant? They're just adorable. And they don't take any time at all to whip up. And then this Sunday, I've been wanting to do this bunny stencil. So this could be, I'm going to put this on a pillow to put on my front porch. But this is beautiful. So this could be an Easter or a really pretty spring, I believe, pillow decor, anything. I love these, the bunny. And I use the lattice. This lattice is going to be really good for your spring and summer projects as well. I forget who did it, but somebody put that bunny up today with the lattice in it. And I did this. I used a mix of stencils. I did this on, I think it was Saturday or Sunday. I think it was Saturday. But I stenciled the bunny on. And then I don't know if you could see in the background, I have the lattice. And then, I don't have my flowers, but I have, these are cherry blossoms, the cherry blossom stencil. And I just stenciled it around and moved it around to make it look like it was going over the lattice. And then when I was done, I kind of painted it in. This was a happy accident. I don't know if you could see how I dotted the middle with a paint. So I used the bottom. No, I didn't use the bottom. I used a toothpick. And I was dotting these with the paint I had. Well, I got it a little too wide, so I got a wet wipe and I started rubbing it around, and it made this really pretty watercolor effect where I didn't have to go and put the stencil over it, and it was real quick and easy. So I just put like a dot of paint, and I just took the Clorox wipe and just kind of swirled it around, and it made it look watercolored to me. But I mean, that's, that could be, so the bunny could be for Easter, but this could be a nice spring hanger too. So those are the things I have to show you today. This is going to be the freebie. So as soon as April is ready, if you have sprinkled, thank you, Judy. I appreciate it. You're not watching the replay, Pamela. You're not. So if you have sprinkled, your name is in the drawing. And don't forget that today and tomorrow, the stencils we did, thank you, Allie. I love yours too. I love everybody's work. I love seeing all the stuff on the Paint and Share. But this is, I need to take this off because this is definitely from last week. I missed that one. Whoops. I don't want to lose my little inch things. But so these are the stencils that are on sale today. 8786 medium and 8196. And all the links are going to be above in my description. And as soon as April is ready, she can pull or do her little wheel thing and pick a winner, and we'll let you know who the winner is of the stencil, and you'll message April. That's the wrong one. And April will be sending it out. So I appreciate everybody coming and staying and hanging out with me this afternoon. It's evening here. It's after 5. Almost dinner time. I hope April's still there. Okay, April. Who is the winner? Okay, April's going to spin the wheel. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate you stopping by. Okay, April's spinning the wheel. And when you order, like I said, don't forget to use my code SignShack at any time of the day. Any day of the week, you can save 15% always. Here we go. Congratulations, Carol. I guess I can't see. Carol, I didn't see the name come up. Oh, thank you, Pamela. I appreciate it. So it's looking like a Carol one, but I'm not seeing the comment. But I'm not sure. Becca says, congratulations, Carol. Is that true? April? I don't know if I missed the comment. Is that who won it? Can somebody let me know? Congratulations. There was a winner polled, I'm guessing. My Facebook's being really weird. Because it's kind of on a time delay here. So it's looking like it was somebody won and it was Carol, but I just want to make sure before I sign off. I just keep trying to refresh it. And this is what you're going to be winning. Carol Runkles. Thank you, Allie. I appreciate that. Okay, so I don't know why it didn't come up in my feed. Carol Runkles won. So, Carol, this is the stencil you won. Thank everybody so much for joining me. I appreciate it so much. It's been a fun live. I hope you have a great week. And join me again next Tuesday, April and I, for what I can't remember what we're doing next week. I know we have it planned, but I can't remember exactly. But again, this one's on sale today and tomorrow. Right there for 20% off. And then use my code SignShack, SIGNSHACK, and you'll get another 15% off. So that's a total of 35%. And it's just, heck, sometimes I end up getting things in a couple different sizes because you never know. Thank you, Allie. So thank everybody for joining me. And this is a weird angle. I'll see you next week, okay? Bye-bye.